This next song is a true story, all the way through. Most of them are true to some extent, but I'm allowed to take liberty. I got the idea for this song reading an editorial in our county paper in the Berkshires called the Berkshire Eagle. And the main gist of the editorial was that we all live very rich and varied lives. And when we die, most of us only get an obituary in the form of 2 sentences, and it really doesn't do anybody's life justice. So the person writing this went on to recount the life story of a woman who had just passed away, and she was the mother of a friend of his. And as I was reading her life story, it was just begging to be a song. And I wrote the song about her life, and her name was Irene Kibbe. Born in Krakow, Poland, 1929, in the shadow of the Tatra Mountains, thick with the scent of pine. Nazis took my father Joseph, a railroad engineer, drug him across the floorboards and through the doorway, filled our life with Third Reich fear. 2 years later in July, Mama was ordered to pack. Sewed her jewels inside my sweater and said, "Quick, muddy it up out back." Herded by a train to a slave labor camp deep in Germany. Mama worked day and night for years in the camp's infirmary. My name is Irene Kibbe, assistant to a surgical nurse. I have lived long and lucky, it's been a blessing and a curse. I've seen things others never will. When I was so very young, I've seen what can be gained and lost with a bomb. My name is Irene Kibbe. My mama was that nurse. Look back with me upon my life, things could have been much worse. German soldiers from the Russian front, iron crosses couldn't hide their fright. Lost many an ear, nose and limb to gangrene and frostbite. When she heard what they had planned for her kids, Mama told the commandant double quick, "Take my children and I'll be dead by morning. A shard of glass should do the trick." So I helped Mama with the bandages and the bedpans best I could. We kept our faith, we said our prayers and hoped God understood. Then one morning we saw red clouds of dust from American jeeps and tanks. Liberation Day they called it, we called it a day for thanks. My name is Irene Kibbe, assistant to a surgical nurse. I have lived long and lucky, it's been a blessing and a curse. I've seen things others never will. When I was so very young, I've seen what can be gained and lost with a bomb and gun. My name is Irene Kibbe. My mama was that nurse. Look back with me upon my life, things could have been much worse. Mama's jewelry took us to America. on the SS Langfit in '49. 1,200 emigrants and soldiers whose lives had come to twine. We entered the New York harbor. Skyscrapers lit like Christmas trees. I watched tears sparkle on every face lit by the Statue of Liberty. And as I stood and shivered at the bow, a kind man gave his coat to me. Turns out he had been a GI who'd landed at Normandy. There was a name tag on that pea coat that I can still clearly see. It told me that this handsome man's name was John Kibbe. My name is Irene Kibbe, assistant to a surgical nurse. I have lived long and lucky. It's been a blessing and a curse. I've seen things others never will. When I was so very young, I've seen what can be lost and gained with a bomb and gun. My name is Irene Kibbe. My mama was that nurse. Look back with me upon my life. Things could have been much worse. Now my time has come and gone. Life could have been much worse. My eyes grow heavy as sunset. End of story, chapter and verse. Thank you. So a pretty cool thing happened to me after that song came out. I got an email out of the blue from a woman who said, you know, I just heard a song of yours on the radio, and it sounds an awful lot like my mother-in-law's life story. Did you know Irene Kibbe? So I emailed her back, and I said, no, I just read about her in the Berkshire Eagle. And we emailed back and forth a few times, and I learned some more things about Irene, and she was really a pretty remarkable woman. Everything she had been through, she always looked at the bright side of things in her life. Her daughter-in-law said she was funny as all get out, that she loved a practical joke better than anybody else. And along with that, she survived 2 lightning strikes. Oh my God. And won the lottery before she died. So it was fun learning more about Irene, and I then had the opportunity to play that song for her daughter-in-law and 2 of her granddaughters. And it was a pretty special thing for me. You know, oftentimes as an artist, I would imagine an artist of any kind, you don't really know whether you touch somebody really deeply with what it is that you create. And for me to know, you know, that happened once, I'm set for life now. You know, if it never happens again, that's fine, because I got to experience that.